Visiting Pittsburgh in the near future? The Comfort Inn of Pittsburgh is the place for you. Comfort Inn offers friendly customer service and a cozy, welcoming room. Wake up to a hot complimentary breakfast every morning, enjoy the indoor pool area year-round, and keep in touch with your friends and family with the high-speed internet. When staying at the Comfort Inn, you can feel at ease knowing your satisfaction is the most important thing.
All of you are well aware that at Pitt State, every program here we have is a priority. And we want every program, every student athlete, every coach to have an opportunity to participate in MIAA postseason and NCAA postseason. In the last few years, we've invested certainly in facilities, but also scholarships, and invested in scholarships and in people to make sure that we give those programs that chance. Certainly that philosophy was at the forefront of this search the last 3 weeks. As we conducted this the last 3 weeks, we had what I would call a very quality applicant pool, and I think that speaks to what we're doing here at Pitt State in terms of those investments that I mentioned. We had quality high school head coaches with some great experience. We had 2-year college coaches with great head coaches with good experience. We had 4-year college head coaches, even other Division II head coaches, and a number of quality Division II assistants that had interest in this job and that we visited with and talked to throughout this process. You probably saw in the release that we put out on, I think that was Thursday, that we really looked at 4 primary criteria as we worked our way through this. Quality experiences as an assistant coach with quality programs, and you saw in that release that certainly Jen has done that with her time at Southern Colorado with Tom Shoji, and as well as at Angelo State with Kathleen Brasfield. Some of those names, those 2 names, may not ring a bell or mean much to you guys, but Jen and I know those are 2 pretty quality people, and certainly I would even use the term maybe legendary head coaches in Division II. We also wanted, a priority for us was someone with head coaching experience. We felt like with those investments we've made and where we are, that we could attract some head coaches from other programs, preferably 4-year institutions and even preferably other Division II schools. Obviously, Jen has done both of those as a head coach at Oklahoma City, and then the last 5 years at Colorado State Pueblo. Kind of an extension of that, we really talked a lot about candidates that had experiences and background in building or rebuilding programs. Honestly, and you all are aware of this, that's where we are. We really do need to rebuild. We haven't been in the national tournament since 2009. We want to be back in that conversation for those regional tournament berths and at the top of our league. So someone that had taken a program, whether that be a new program or a program similar to where we are, and could rebuild that certainly was important. And I thought, as a fourth thing we talked a lot about, and this was more probably me than anybody else, was I felt like really it was important for us to identify a candidate with credible playing experience and leadership experiences as a student athlete. I just think in any sport right now in Division II, with the type of prospective student athletes that we're recruiting, student athletes that we are coaching and mentoring once they get here, I think someone that can identify with that and has played, I think that makes a difference. And so that certainly was something that was important to us. And lastly, we just wanted to make sure we found somebody that just was a great fit for us, primarily with our staff, but not only that, a great fit for our university and more importantly, the community. In Pittsburgh, Kansas, that's a big deal to make sure we find someone that's a great fit in the community. So we know that this process for rebuilding our program is not going to be easy. It's not going to be short term. But as we talked about those criteria and kept talking about what it would take over the next 4 to 5 years, to get us back to where we need to be, we kept coming back to Jen Gomez. We felt like she had all of those qualities that we were looking for, the experiences, set of experiences and skill set that we thought we really needed to get this turned around. And in addition to that, somebody a great fit for our program and our community. So you guys have all heard me say before that we have this crazy idea here that we'll get everything to the point that we give all 12 of our programs a chance to participate in the postseason in the same year. So 100% participation in NCAA play in the same year, and that's our goal. It's been our goal for a while, continues to be our goal, and I think this week, today, we just took a big step forward in making that happen. So with nothing further, I'll let Jen make some comments. So I'll formally introduce Pitt State head volleyball coach Jen Gomez.
Thank you. This is just such a great experience for my family and I, and we are thrilled at the opportunity that we have to come to Pittsburgh, Kansas, and be part of Pittsburg State University in the athletic department. My family and I, we've already kind of dug our claws into Pittsburgh, Kansas this last couple days, and we're just ready to be here and get going, and I'm excited about what we can do with the volleyball program here. I'm not afraid of the challenges that are ahead. I just see them as opportunities for growth, and I'm really excited to get going. I'm really thankful to Jim and Natalie and the rest of the committee for giving me this opportunity to come here and be part of something really special at Pittsburg State University.
Okay.
So what made the job attractive to you? Why leave your alma mater and come here?
That is always something that I really had to weigh that a lot because it's pretty cool to be at your alma mater. But what I love is a challenge, and I think a lot of people sit there and say, well, why leave something that's already established and headed in a good direction? But I'm not afraid of challenges and rebuilding, and that's really what I like. I like that opportunity to come in and try to take something that's struggling and make it great, and I think that's kind of what I thrive on every single day, is getting that opportunity, and I just see that there could be some really great things here, and the community of Pittsburgh, the athletic department, there's something special going on here, and I wanted to be a part of that.
How would you describe your coaching philosophy, I guess? What kind of coach are you?
Well, let's say that I'm intense. I'm not afraid to stomp my feet and march up and down and yell when I need to. I really think that structure and being disciplined, being really good at the little things, I think that's really important. But I also know that the game's fun, and I think that combining the fun, but still getting better all the time. And I know that it's going to be a challenge, but I think once we get them all bought in and on the same page with me and headed in the right direction and getting the recruits in that we need to, I really think that it's going to be something great here.
You guys are an easy crowd today.
I know.
Coach, talk about the MLA conference and just how challenging it is.
I think it's one of the toughest conferences in the nation for Division II. That was also something that I think is exciting about being here is you're going to jump in and go with the big dogs right away as far as there's 4 teams in the top 25 of the nation. And I think that competition and that rivalry within this conference, I just think elevates the play of volleyball. I really believe that Pittsburg State could be up in that mix, and let's just make this an even better conference, and by us getting better and kind of drawing that level up too.
What challenges are you expecting going into this first season?
Well, we're going to say it's opportunities here. So let's say what opportunities do we see? I think it's going to be a good experience to have the existing team kind of see maybe a different coaching style, probably a complete 180 from what they're used to. But I think that's part of the fun, is getting in and meeting the different personalities and getting them to buy into what I'm selling and the way that we're going to do things here. I think it's going to be fun to get out in the community and and meet people and hopefully continue the great support that they've had here at Pitt State for volleyball. And I just think we're just building that recruiting base. I kind of go from one end of the spectrum to the other. I like international players. I like junior college players. I like Kansas kids. I like Texas kids. I just think we've got to go where we can get the best kids possible here that are going to form and be a cohesive unit and win.
What kind of offensive system do you prefer? Is it like 5-1 or 4-2?
Well, I have done a lot of different ones, or gone back and forth, but I think initially I've got to kind of see what's going to fit best with the players that we have here and what's going to make us successful immediately. I like 5-1 just because the continuity of the setting throughout, but 6-2s are good too because you can utilize more hitters. So I think I just kind of got to get in a little bit, see what we've got and what's going to benefit us, and then go from there.
I think you just kind of touched on it, but it's kind of the main key to rebuilding is recruiting is that kind of start well, that kind of where it all starts.
Yes. I feel right off the bat, coming in at a semester, I think it'll be just a time for me to get used to the players that are here and do some training and, again, implement my system, my way of doing things. But we're going to hit the recruiting trail right off the bat, and I think, like I was saying, I'm trying to get the mix in that'll be the best fit. Still trying I'm in that evaluative phase with the players that we currently have, and that's going to happen this spring, is just see where we're at and what we've got to work with. But initially, we're just going to hit the recruiting trail pretty hard and get the best kids here.
So what's the plan for the spring? Then just jump right in right away after the break?
Jumping in, yep, head and feet, everything in all at once. I think we're going to try to, just come in and, like I said, put in, kind of establish the way that I like to play, the way that I like to do things, and just getting them to buy in, do kind of a full spring session tryout type thing for the players that are here and let them see if they even like me, if this is where it's going to be a good fit for them. I think they will like it. I think it's going to come along and be great. But that's what I'm doing first, is meet the kids, get going with them, introduce them to kind of what Pitt State volleyball is going to be like in the future.
Do you have assistant coaches yet, or?
Not yet, but that's going to be the work in progress. That's the next hurdle we're going to jump. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
How have your previous coaching experience helped you prepare you for the opportunities ahead?
Sure.
Here at Pittsburgh State?
Good. I completely went in blind. It was my first head coaching job at Oklahoma City University. And talk about being in over your head, I really was, because I walked into a place that hadn't had a volleyball program since 1983. No assistant coach, no lines on the floor, not a volleyball court in the gym to be found. So when I walked into that situation, thinking that it was going to be rainbows and lollipops, I was quickly brought back to earth and reality when I realized that this is going to be pretty hard. But I was a blue-collar kid raised in Dodge City, Kansas, and all I've known is just to work hard. And so that's what I did. We worked hard, we hit the recruiting trail, we got kids that bought into that whole idea, and we went places with it, and I was really proud of that. And then to go to Colorado State, who 10 out of the last 11 years before I got there had losing seasons. So again, it wasn't anything that I wasn't accustomed to as far as rebuilding, but at the same time, it was just a different situation. It's easier almost to start brand new and have a clean slate than it is to have to rebuild, but that was a different opportunity and challenge within itself. And I think what I learned from that too was about being able to kind of get the kids to buy into a different type. They gone from losing, well, you gotta love on them, you gotta help bring them along, you gotta kind of nurture them and help get them to see their potential as they go, because when you're losing for a long time, it's just kind of a dark, bleak hole, and they have a hard time seeing the light. So that was kind of the challenge or opportunity there, was to get them just to realize their own potential, and that they weren't trashy players, they were good, and they just needed to have a little structure and discipline and be a little bit more mentally tough. And I think that's kind of what we instilled at Pueblo, was just that gritty, hard work ethic of, we're just going to get it in there, put our heads down, we're going to go to work, and we're going to outwork everybody in the conference. And I think, we were doing that. And I don't feel like this is a completely I'm not going to scratch everything and have to start over, but we're just going to rebuild and see kind of what the structure's like underneath, evaluate the players, and then get everybody on the same page and take off.
Coach, you're from Dodge City, Kansas, so you're back in Kansas. Would you say you're back to your roots? I mean, you said you were a hard worker.
Well, kind of, except I'm at the opposite end of the state. So, but no, I love Kansas. I've always loved it. You know, I think what's great about being back in Kansas is the junior college system here is really good. The Jayhawk Conference is awesome. I played in the Jayhawk Conference when I went to Garden City Community College, and so I like recruiting that conference. I think they've got quality kids, and I like being in small town Kansas. I really do, and I think that's what I love is that sense of community, and that's what my family is really excited about, is to belong to a community where we can go down to the grocery store and we see lots of people we know, and you know, and your kids get involved in the different aspects, and I think that's what we're most excited about too, is just being a part of this community.
Anything else?
Have you had a chance to meet with your players here?
No, I have not yet. What's crazy about doing the timing, and we always talk about timing is never perfect, but you know, I'll be contacting them and letting them know, hey, I'm in this position now, and when we come back, we'll meet and go face to face. But right now, it's just basically phone calls and just kind of letting them know, here's what we're going to do, here's what to expect, and when we get back, we'll just go from there. But I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be fun.
The Holiday Inn Express of Pittsburgh has flexible meeting spaces, complimentary internet access, a free hot breakfast bar in the morning, and an indoor pool that the whole family will enjoy. Come book a room at the newest hotel in Pittsburgh, the Holiday Inn Express.